Hi there, it's Hannah. I'm going to talk to you today about our Albedo Effect Kit. This kit requires the use of one of the Hip Science Mantis sensors, and you can use either the weather sensor or the climate sensor, both of which look a lot like this. And this sensor allows you to collect the amount of light coming in and hitting the sensor. And through that you can talk about the albedo effect, which is the amount of light that is reflected off of different surfaces. So in addition to collecting your 3D printed parts and a few office supplies, you should also collect a variety of materials that you can use to talk about light reflection. So I have objects here with different reflectivity as well as different textures and colors. Let's get started by building up the meter stick station. Start by inserting the unsharpened end of the pencil into the bottom 3 openings. You can do the same thing with this top piece. Next, insert your meter stick and do so through the top and then through the bottom, being sure to line up the pencils. So we take these last little pencil angle pieces and we take the short side and snap it onto the bottom pencil, and the long side snaps onto the top pencil. The Albedo Effect Kit requires 2 meter stick vertical stands, so repeat the process to build a second one. Then, take your 2 medium binder clips and secure them at a height as given to you in the lesson plan. Then I add my crossbar pieces and slide my 3rd meter stick through each of them to create a crossbar. The albedo sensor hold can then simply be placed directly in the center of those 2 on the crossbar, and the sensor itself can sit either upside down or right side up on this hold. But first we have to get it synced with whatever device you are using to collect the data. For more information on how to use the Mantis sensors, please refer to their documentation and the Hip Science website. What we're looking at in this experiment is the ambient light. That's one of the sensors on it, and I can click on it. It's currently collecting 187 units. To verify that it's working, I'm simply going to cover it, and you can see on the graph that the data dropped as soon as I did that and went right back up when I removed my hand. So when you verified that the sensor is working, you can place it in position. The first thing you're going to want to do is actually make sure that you have collected what the ambient light is of your room by default. And one of the things you can do is actually try turning on and off different lights to see how that affects the ambient light. So right now, with it facing up and just collecting the light from the room, I am getting a reading of 220. But now if I were to turn this over and get the ambient light value as reflected off of this black tablecloth, my reading has dropped all the way down to 13. But let's see an experiment with what different materials do for that reading. So this allows your students to collect immediate data that you can then assemble and analyze to discuss reflected light and how different surfaces affect it, both outside in the real world and even within a classroom. So your students are getting hands-on, technology-integrated experience with the albedo effect, with light, and with an assortment of math and science topics, depending on how you graph and use the kit. Thanks for listening and have a spectacular day.